Friends, family, and colleagues gather to honor a Central Kentucky police officer killed in a crash. How they say they're celebrating his life.
A little luck and a lot of money will help you score a ticket to watch UK play in Louisville. We're in Lexington crunching numbers.
WKYT investigates how doctors are trying to diagnose babies at risk of being born addicted to drugs before it's too late.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. They traveled from around the state to pay their respects to a police officer killed in a crash. Hundreds of people have been gathering at Southland Christian Church in Jessamine County for his visitation.
Nicholasville police officer Burke Rhodes died last Wednesday in a crash in Garrett County. As Victor Puente tells us, many of those at the visitation work in law enforcement. It's our top story at 6.
The visitation for Officer Burke Rhodes has a few more hours to go. The people who knew him say he wasn't much for attention. They say he deserves all the recognition he's getting today. The Nicholasville Police Honor Guard are missing a member. The man they're standing watch over today was one of their own.
He's worked many funerals with us as an agency representing Nicholasville around the state. And so now it's only appropriate that the state come out and pay their respects to somebody like Burke.
Officer Rhodes was killed Wednesday in a crash on US 27. He leaves behind a wife and 3 children. Today they've seen hundreds of people, many in uniform, come to pay their respects. Harvey says they're surrounded by friends and they're doing okay.
The family is doing well as can be expected. Right now they're going through the emotions of a visitation and a funeral, and that gives them something to focus on.
He says the support his department has received from the people of Nicholasville has been a big help. They've also found comfort in their memories of Rhodes.
He would say something and you wouldn't realize it was funny until 30 seconds later, and then you looked at him and he was waiting for you to notice that he had made a joke.
He knows tomorrow will be even tougher as Rhodes is buried. He also knows they won't be mourning alone.
Everybody mourning, whether they knew him or not, it sends a message that he mattered and that the job matters, and that even if it's not your family member or your friend, it's somebody's family member or friend that needs to be respected.
Over the last few days, the Jessamine County Sheriff's Department and Kentucky State Police have helped answer calls while the Nicholasville Police Department deal with the loss of their brother. In Jessamine County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Officer Rhodes' funeral will be tomorrow at noon at Southland Christian. He's being buried at Camp Nelson National Cemetery.
We have some new information tonight about the case against a man accused of shooting a child in Lexington. 28-year-old Alberto Contreras was supposed to be in a West Virginia courtroom today for a hearing to determine when he'll be brought back to Kentucky. But court workers tell us that hearing was delayed until Wednesday. Contreras was arrested in West Virginia last week. Police say he fired a shot in an SUV in Lexington earlier this month. A 9-year-old boy inside was badly injured.
It certainly feels like spring outside today with sunshine and warm temperatures, but unfortunately the nice weather isn't sticking around. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at your forecast. How about it, Jim?
Yeah, we're going to shake things up a little bit here. And today we did, if you think about it, because we were well into the 70s, but by the time we get to Wednesday, we're back in the 40s for highs. Let's look outside with the fender right now. We've thrown the temperatures up there for you. A little one-stop shop with the satellite precipitation, which there isn't any, and of course our temperatures. Right now, 73 degrees in Lexington, and we've been at that point for a while now. 72 down towards Somerset. Frankfort comes in at 74 degrees as well, so pretty nice. We throw it all into motion, and you can see there's just more cloud cover on the move, as our next system will be coming in from the northwest, and that's going to actually give us a chance of a few stray showers as we look ahead here. Our 3-day threat track, here's what we've got. Keeping it low tomorrow because we do have that very small chance of rain, but generally not a big deal for most of us. But on Wednesday, it's just kind of a day in between everything. Starts out pretty chilly, but what happens late in the day going into Thursday, where we've bumped it up to moderate, that's where we could run into maybe a few early morning flakes. And I do mean just a few, and then more widespread rain chances likely, all with cool temperatures. I'll take a closer look at it coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. The Cats are going into the NCAA tournament with an undefeated record and the overall #1 seed, and they'll take their first steps in the big dance just a short drive away in Louisville.
But if you're wanting tickets to see the games at the KFC Yum Center, be prepared to pay a lot of money. Our Kristen Kennedy tells us what she found online.
We saw Nashville turned into a sea of blue and white this past week, and now university leaders are hoping it'll be the same in Louisville this week.
What amazed me when I walked the streets in Nashville is the thousands of people who were there who did not have tickets. They just wanted to be part of it.
President Eli Capilouto knows the Big Blue Nation is willing to go wherever, whenever to support the Cats.
A lot of those folks can't get into Rupp Arena to see us, so they come out and they spend their hard-earned money to go to the tournament. And those players played hard for them and gave them a championship. It was pretty cool.
UK Athletics Director Mitch Barnhart knows fans focus on the finish line. They all want to be there when the Cats win. And if you want to be in Louisville, it'll cost you a lot. We found single tickets Monday afternoon on NCAA's ticket exchange site going anywhere from $100 to $300 a seat. That single seat price is only expected to climb if the Cats move forward in the tournament. That's why the Better Business Bureau is already issuing warnings about those too good to be true prices.
It can be greatly disappointing to be all geared up to go and find out that the tickets you have purchased are fake, or to not get any at all if you've purchased them from a fraudulent source.
The NCAA does encourage fans to buy tickets from one of two places, their website or host schools' ticket offices. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
The ticket exchange is on the NCAA's website. It's operated through what's called Prime Spot. And keep this in mind, if you're going to Louisville, you could have a tougher time finding a place to park around the Yum Center because of flooding along the Ohio River. Flooding has shut down River Road between 3rd and 8th Streets, so outdoor parking lots in those areas are closed. Even the first level of the Ali Center's parking garage is flooded. Louisville city leaders estimate the downtown area has lost about 1,000 parking spaces because of all this flooding. On WKYT.com, you'll find a full list of Thursday and Friday's tournament games and where you can watch them on TV. And there, you can enter your bracket in our Hoops Hysteria contest. You could win a 65-inch TV or a MacBook Air computer.
Doctors call it a huge problem in Kentucky. They say the number of babies born dependent on drugs is growing at an alarming rate. And one doctor tells us the problem is outpacing solutions. As investigative reporter Miranda Combs found out, diagnosing the symptoms is just one of the hurdles doctors have to clear.
Can you smile? That's a big girl.
Last year, the number approached 1,000 in Kentucky, babies born dependent on drugs. They need special treatment, usually morphine, and special accommodations, including patience. Many of the mothers are taking treatment drugs like this woman.
Suboxone was amazing.
Who doesn't want people to see her, but wants people to hear her.
Addiction has affected my life in so many ways, and when it affected my daughter, it about killed me.
Her daughter was diagnosed with neonatal abstinence syndrome and spent 3 weeks in the NICU on morphine.
It's a horrible thing to go through because you just want to take it away from them. You want to fix it, and you can't.
She says she knows her daughter was showing signs of withdrawal, but says since she was on a treatment drug called Subutex, hospital staff ruled out any other possible reasons for her daughter's condition. A warning, she says, for moms planning to take treatment drugs during pregnancy.
I was under the impression that she would not have any withdrawal, she would not have any issues, you know, it wouldn't give her any birth defects. I mean, it was supposed to be okay.
There are some early studies that said the babies didn't withdraw, but then the later studies said they do, and personal experience says they do, and when they do, it's worse than, it can be worse than the run-of-the-mill.
Dr. Eric Reynolds sees NAS babies every day.
It's kind of a problem that's exploded faster than people have had a chance to get ahead of it, and that's why we're trying to clean up the mess now.
The mess costs about $53,000 a baby. 80% are on some form of public assistance.
We're just spending more money on this problem all the time.
Right now, there is no state protocol for diagnosing babies with NAS. Hospitals all handle it differently. Some test cord blood or meconium. Some watch for symptoms.
If you know what to look for, you can spot them.
Dr. Reynolds is also the president of the Kentucky Perinatal Association. The association is working on standardizing the way NAS babies are diagnosed.
I was there with them every time they scored her.
She's referring to the Finnegan Neonatal Abstinence Scoring System. This is the assessment tool KPA is pushing to make protocol in Kentucky hospitals. But even it needs tweaking, according to Reynolds.
What's the difference in excessive and continuous?
Well, that's where the subjectivity comes in.
He says the scoring system is at least something. However, sometimes withdrawal symptoms don't show until after mom and baby leave the hospital.
Does this lead, though, to babies slipping through the system?
It certainly could, and it certainly does. And unless they come to somebody's attention, they wouldn't show up on anybody's radar.
Some states have tried mandatory treatment for moms who test positive for drugs during pregnancy. However, Dr. Reynolds says that didn't work too well because the mother would avoid getting prenatal care, and that would obviously be a negative for that baby. Well, Miranda, you mentioned about the mother that you interviewed that she felt like other issues were overlooked because her daughter had this NAS. She says her baby was also lactose intolerant, but because the baby had NAS too, that part was overlooked, and she feels like her daughter suffered. So a lot of different angles to a very complicated story. A lot of pieces and parts, and they all need to come together, don't they? Miranda, thank you.
And we have an update tonight to a WKYT investigation last fall. We looked into potentially dangerous guardrails used along Kentucky roads. The New York Times reports the Federal Highway Administration has been criticized for giving the guardrail, the ET Plus, a passing grade in a crash test despite severe damage to the driver's door. But the federal agency is defending its methods of analysis. Kentucky has temporarily banned installation of the guardrails.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
They went above and beyond to help their neighbors during the recent snowstorms that hit Lexington.
Now, some folks in a Lexington neighborhood have been rewarded for their hard work. And as Mike Linden tells us new at 6, it's coming from someone who wants to stay anonymous.
Thomas Wilson lives in Masterson Station in Lexington. Earlier this month, Mayor Jim Gray honored him with the Spirit of Lexington Award for helping his neighbors this winter.
I ran errands for lots of people and did different things, brought people home from the airport and dropped off medication for a child.
After helping his neighbors get through a historic amount of snowfall in Lexington, Wilson says that he wasn't anticipating receiving anything in return. That's why he was surprised when an envelope containing $60 arrived at his home.
There are angels out there. People helping people. It's what it's all about.
Wilson isn't the only one who was gifted money. So far, 2 more people in the neighborhood have received anonymous gifts of $100.
It's indicative of the people out here. Everyone helps everyone when they can. Everybody looks out for each other.
We were able to get in touch with the donor, but they wish to remain anonymous.
It just takes one person to inspire someone else to help each other.
The donor says more gifts are on the way and will continue as long as people in the neighborhood need it.
There are some really good people in the world, in that, doing something, not expecting anything in return should be its own reward, but sometimes, you get blessings like this.
In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
And how about this? That anonymous donor told us after working 2 full-time jobs to support family, it was time to do something to pay it forward to the community.